Charles, 1 Charles, 203. One Charles, 203, Mineral Wells. Can you repeat? Charles, 1 Charles, 203. Southwest Parker County. They advise there are multiple locations where there is damage caused by the vehicle that they're out with. Debbie is out with the vehicle in the 5500 block of West 199 near Lane of Goshen. Additional damage is listed in your call card. 10-4, can you show me on scene? Yeah.
Also for the DPS on scene.
PD Squad 1, need to be en route. Unknown problem. It's going to be 806 West Spring Street, 806 West Spring Street. Your pass is North Mallermack and Harcourt. Firebox 143, 143, PD clear 1959.
Medic 15, incoming call, 806 West Spring Street, cross streets North Mallermack Street and Harcourt Street, box F4.
Also, Jerry.
Okay. Well, if you're going to be here, I'm going to be here, but I'll let you take primary if you're going to be around.
Okay, not a problem.
I just sent out that heads
All right,
up.
if you're in here, I'm getting things set up. There's a lot going on. Just give me a few seconds.
15, are we responding to that call on screen right now? Yep.
Yeah, thank goodness they have canceled the tornado warning for Parker.
It's intense. Go ahead.
Well, that's interesting. Well, let's try this. Give me just a second, guys. I'm getting things set up here. We've got storm chasers on the ground. We've got a possible tornado situation that has gone down here briefly, but we'll see. It may pop back up again. But give me just a couple minutes here as I'm getting things ready. Cable D. This is live scanner feed. And we are live out of Fort Worth. You guys can see here, look at this couplet. We've got a bit of a couplet. Now we're coming in right into the Fort Worth area here. And I'm not sure if we're going to get a real good line of gusty winds or a tornado, but we are definitely showing some rotation here. Okay, this is on radio velocity. This shows us the direction of the rain. Look at that couplet. Look at that. I mean, there is a couplet down here forming. It just went over Stephenville. And this is not the one we were watching earlier. The one we were watching earlier is this one up here. So we do still have a decent couplet here just southwest of Granbury. We are listening to scanners from the two counties here that are involved, and I'm waiting for them to issue a tornado warning on that. This was the one up here that was previously warned. And these things are, they're moving at about 40 miles an hour. And 40 miles an hour, that's going to put it, oh, stop. God, they changed this whole thing, dude, and I don't like it. I don't know how to use it now. Anyway, Tolar in 7 minutes, Mambrino in 20, Canyon Creek 21 minutes, Granbury 21. I think if either one of these is going to produce a tornado, it's probably this one. And trying to see where it gets into here. But let's zoom out and show you it's going to go right south of Fort Worth and down towards the South Beltway in Dallas. And then this other one up here that we're watching, same thing. It's moving up in this direction as well at about 40 miles an hour. And you can see there, we've got, it's going to go right just north of Fort Worth. So these storms are going to kind of split the difference here. Neither one of them, to my knowledge, has put a tornado on the ground. We're just simply looking at, the potential because of rotation. There's a lot of rotation in these storms. Okay, so let's get out of this if I can get... God, I do not like the updates. If I could get the old one back, I would. They never make anything better. Have you noticed that? No matter what they update, it's now I can't even get rid of this. Can I hit escape? I cannot get rid of this. It's always, there's always got to be a box somewhere, I guess. So yeah, there's always has to be a box somewhere. That's ridiculous. That's just a waste. All right, these are my storm chasers right here, this circle, and he is waiting for this storm here to move up towards Flower Mountain and Frisco, and which it's going to do. It's just north of Fort Worth Beltways where it's going to run. And then, of course, we've got this other one down here we're watching. This particular one here caused a bunch of power outages, but I can't tell you how many because the overlays are over the top of each other, and yeah. So anyway, I can't tell you how many people are without power, but let's say it's quite a few. All right. Boy, this is not an upgrade. I'm going to have to send them a letter and tell them thanks a lot. All right, and I had others. This down here is going on too. Let me switch to the other radar. Let me switch back to high-res reflectivity. This is the rain, the radar that you're used to seeing. Now, we've got a couple of storm chasers here, but they're both orange. When they're orange circles like that, that means they're not, their cameras are not live. Now, see the flags, the 3 flags on the left here? Okay, these 3 flags right here. That I'm on this camera right here in Colleen. Okay, and we're watching this, we're looking towards this storm cell, and you can see there in that middle picture in the radar, you can actually see that storm popping in the distance as it gets closer. So that's where that one is in Colleen. And then up here, the other one we got, I think is this one. Yeah, it's this one right here. So this one right here, just south of Dallas, is this top one here, and the storm's heading there too. You can see it in the distance. So we do have a couple of cameras, static cameras, out ahead of this thing. And then I've got the storm chasers up here, which are down here in Gainesville, Texas. Okay. So that's how that works. Now, the way I got all this set up in here, it's a little difficult to keep everything going, especially with these updates. All right, anyway, I do want to go ahead and let's go ahead and do a proper open here. Hello, everybody. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures, and I'm live tonight at Starship Studios in North Fort Myers, Florida, and this is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. And tonight we've got 3 things going on tonight that we're going to be discussing at length. And the first of which is on your screen, Texas tornadoes, the possibility of tornadoes in Texas over the next 2 or 3 hours, and we're going to be discussing that. We've got up some stationary cameras there in the black and white, and then we've also got up one storm chaser that's out there, and that is John McKinney. John McKinney is out there live at this time, and so that's what we're watching there. I've got scanner feeds up that you should be able to hear for this tornado warned area, but it's calming down now, so I may turn those down depending on what is going on those. So we've got all that going on. We also have a little bit of an update on Comet 3i Atlas, and we've got a solar weather update. There's another CME heading towards Earth, but it's not too big, but we'll talk about that. We are right around solar peak right now, and so it's not unusual to see these waves of CMEs coming. Oh great, we've already lost one of our feeds. That was the feed out of Chicago that just went down. That just sucks. Okay, anyway, there we go. The other one there you see with the line of police and the line of media and the 3 protesters, that is in, that's purported to be in Portland on Broadview or something like that. Yeah, it's Portland. So we are still watching that. The upper right screen is all the latest goings on with the next thing we're going to talk about, which is Tropical Storm Melissa will eventually become Hurricane Melissa. It is now forecast to become Major Hurricane Melissa as it lingers south of Jamaica for several days and then finally makes landfall on the island. So watch out for the ting. Anyway, there you go. We're going to talk about that in a little while as well. So there's a lot going on tonight. And I also want to, I've got a couple of little personal things at the end here, some neat local stuff that's going on, and we'll talk about that as well. It's been a busy news cycle today, a lot going on, a lot of criticism over the ballroom that the president is building at the White House. And of course, they're going to criticize anything. Like I said, if Trump cured cancer, we'd find liberals laying around dead in beds because they wouldn't take it. And I do actually believe that to be true. I'm not just kind of using it as a metaphor. I actually believe it's true. Okay, so our storm chaser here, John McKinney, right down here, center, middle center, bottom center, I should say. He's live, and this storm is about to go over the top of him. But it's just a battle thunderstorm right now. And then you can see that camera in the middle there starting to get buffeted a little bit. That's this camera down here somewhere, I don't know, but it's about to be overtaken. And then this camera here's out a little bit further.
Also, there's a secondary line that's approaching Weatherford now, down to Granbury, Glen Rose, Walnut Springs, that will impact us after the first line reaches Tarrant County. And the secondary line will be in after that. KBITXC forward rate.
We are listening to Texas Skywarn. Skywarn are people like me. I'm Skywarn trained. People like me that are generally amateur radio operators. They're generally people that were in emergency services or people who study weather, things like that. And what they do, this thing's driving me nuts. Stop it. What they do is we go out during storms. Like when I'm storm chasing, I actually have a hotline programmed into my phone, which dials me into Ruskin. And I can call in because I'm Skywarn weather spotter trained. I can call in my reports directly to NOAA, and they're given a little more weight because I'm trained and I've been qualified and background checked and so on and so forth. I've never called in a report, but I am Skywarn trained. I wanted to go through it. I go through a lot of different training and courses. I went through every single course you need to get all the way up to Aries level 3, and then decided not to do it because the people were jerks. Anyway, but it was good training. I'm retired from the fire service, and I also was a cop, so you can imagine how much training I've been through in my life. I'm so sick of training. If I never see the inside of another classroom, it's too damn soon. I can tell you that right now. Jesus God. All right, they train you to death, and it's worse now than it was when I was in. I've been out of the fire service now 20-something years, and it's a lot worse now than when I was in there, I can tell you that. Now they're making everybody become a paramedic. Everybody has to have a 2-year degree. It was, wow, you know. All right, there is a lot to talk about tonight, so let's just get right into it. We are going to continue to watch this weather, and I'm going to put this in motion so we can kind of see what it's doing here. But we're going to continue to watch this weather while we do other things, because there is so much going on right now. I'm finding AI to be a pain in the ass sometimes. It's like it doesn't listen. It's like a. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's a pestilent little bastard child. You have to treat it like it's a 3 or 4-year-old. You know, it'll tell me all the time. I'll put in there, make me a podcast medits package for Trey Rado's Drive podcast for da 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 da, and I'll put in there the podcast topic is the left's deception when it comes to da 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 da. It'll come back and say, I'm sorry, I can't get political. Now, if I go in there and tell it that Trump's a liar, put in there that he talks about Trump being a liar, it'll make the meta tags for me, no problem. But if I put in there that the Democrats are liars, or that the Democrats have misled people, or the Democrats, it'll tell me it can't do it. And then I have to yell at it, and I'll tell it, say, you're going to do it. I work at a news station. This is a legitimate business product that I'm making here, and you will make it for me. And it comes back, sorry, thank you for clarifying, and it makes it for me. It does it every time. We laugh at work because I have the thing I type already saved on a notepad. I got a notepad with a bunch of different stuff that I use to paste onto things. And that's one of the things I have on there. And I just copy and paste it in, and it makes it for me. It's stupid. It's like a pestilent little child. All right, so today, sanctions. Trump has placed major sanctions on Russian oil giants, both the Rosneft and the Lukoil, escalating tensions in the area. Let's see, President Trump imposed major sanctions on Russia's largest oil companies, defund and disrupted the funding for the Ukraine conflict, marking a shift in U.S. policy. The sanctions coincide with the cancellation of a planned Trump-Putin summit, with Trump citing Putin's lack of honesty in ceasefire talks. The fact is, Putin's not done killing yet. He's a ruthless bastard killer, and he's not done killing yet. That's the bottom line. Let's quit beating around the bush. That's what it is. I can't stand beating around the bush. Let's just call it what it is, and that's what it is. I'm telling you, that's what it is. All right. Oil prices have gone up some per barrel. The good news is we're buffering that as we get our production going again after Joe Biden had so dramatically stifled our production. Now we're starting to get some production back again, and that's really a good thing, because we literally lost a lot of our means to produce. We lost a lot of our means to find more. We lost a lot of our oil reserves, and we lost a lot of our refining capacity while that dolt Joe Biden was the president. And because of that, we have a lot of catching up to do. Now, Trump has opened everything wide back open again. You know, it's like Biden, he didn't realize we have to have oil, whether it's a war or getting people to work in the morning, keep people warm in the winter. We got to have war. We got to have oil. I don't understand. Democrats are doing the stupidest things right now, and it's getting more and more stupid. We're going to get the more. There's more stupid on the list. Stand by for more stupid on the list. Oh, I don't even care about that. See, former French President Nicolas Sarkozy began a 5-year prison sentence. Okay. Hamas returns bodies of 2 more Israeli hostages in a ceasefire. A Russian strike has killed 6 civilians in Ukraine amid summit cancellation. Saudi Arabia abolishes the Khalifa system. Kafala. I don't speak Middle Eastern. Freeing 13 million migrant workers. It sounds to me like slavery, but whatever. All right, let's talk about this country. Government shutdown enters its 4th week again. Impact 800,000 workers. Yada yada yada. You know, this is the Chuck Schumer shutdown. I want you guys to just call it the Schumer shutdown. You know, I got to get a chat room up. I'm sitting here thinking I haven't even seen who's in my chat room yet. Please forgive me, everyone. I went right into the news and never even said hello to everybody. So let's get this shit up right now. Okay, yeah, we got some folks in here. Hello, everybody. All right. I swear, let me set it for live. Everybody always says, set it for live, set it for live. Okay, I'm on live. Let's see here. Hello, Canna Club. Victor. Hello, Jungle Jordy. Tony. Carlotta, thank you for being here tonight. Hello, everybody. Victor, thank you. Tony. And lots of different folks in here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Junior, thank you for being here. One of my major mods over on Discord. And if you're one of my mods, go over and check because I probably made you a mod on Discord. And also, Michael, thank you for being here. And let's see, who else do we got in here? I think that's it. Red, thank you for being here. Tony, Jules, thank you for being here. Let's just quit babbling politics and talk about the weather. Would you believe I wasn't talking any politics at all, and I got a lot of criticism over it. People want to hear about everything, and so I've added it back into the loop anyway, but I'll try to keep it light. I do have a lot of other stuff tonight. Let's see, we already talked about that. We talked about this. I tell it I want today's news stories. I don't think it's done this to me 2 or 3 days in a row. It'll feed me. I'm gonna go over to Grok. Let me go over to Grok. Jesus God. It's embarrassing. Hey Heath, what's up, man? No, actually, I disagree with you, Jules. I do. Politics is for people that truly care about their world, and I can only take it in doses. I do it for 3 hours at work and occasionally on this show after that, but I don't live it anymore. I used to be addicted to it. After 9/11, I became news addicted. And I mean, my family did a frickin' intervention and shit. And then during the Gulf Wars, I became very news addicted. I actually, at my place that I was living, I bought this place and I had 7 TVs. I had a TV in every room. I had run cable through the attic, and I had every TV hooked up, and all it was Fox News on Channel 3. And I could see Fox News on every television. I was absolutely news addicted. I threw a TV out one time, and when I was leaving for work the next morning, when I backed out, the sun was shining on the screen of that old tube television that I threw out. This was like 12 or 15 years ago. I threw this TV out. It's sitting there, the sun's shining on it, and I can see the Fox logo and the Chiron burned into the tube. And it was literally that moment that I realized I've got a problem. I got to get, and so I was already producing news radio by then, news talk radio. So over the years, I right now no longer have Fox News TVs anywhere except in the studio here. When I go in the house, I don't look at news. I used to I'd get up and piss every 2 hours at night, right? Typical guy thing. I'd get up and go piss, and every time I'd go piss, I'd stand at the toilet and check the news. Dude, that's bad. That is so incredibly bad because it disrupts your sleep, the brightness of the phone. I can't get back to sleep. I had to break myself of that habit. I cannot touch my phone in the middle of the night. It's sitting there and I don't look at it. The clock, I've had to get rid of all the clocks that I can see. I can't see clocks. They screw me up at night. But I was so news addicted and I had to have it. And then finally, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. And I've slowly weaned myself off of all of the news products. You going to come say hi to everybody? Look who's here. It's Mama Bleeper. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing, the ravishing Mom Bleep. All right, so there you go. She just walked through. That's all it was. It was a walkthrough. It's pretty cheap. You can pay for those. It's just a walkthrough. They don't really say much. Anyway, she's doing good, by the way, for those that are following her progress. She almost died. She was as close to death. I can see that screen blinking back there. What are you doing? I've never seen a computer do that before. I hope it's okay. The water's nowhere near it. I don't know what's going on over there. There's no. Anyway, who said porn is bad? Yeah, Jules, I'm not going to go through it again tonight. I did this whole talk a couple nights ago. I talked for over an hour on this topic. If you don't pick a team, you never win the game. And the way things are right now, it's pretty much good versus evil. You got to go out there and you got to pick your team and you got to fight. And if you don't like politics and you just want to sit it out, I guess that's okay. The rest of us are going to have to pay attention for you and make sure that the right things are being done. You can think that you sit there and have no power, but you don't. You do have power. We all do. And that's how this works. It's important to be engaged. It's also important to not be around it all the time. I do, like I was just saying, so much news a day, and that's it. When I'm done with this tonight, I will shut you guys off, say goodnight, and I will shut everything off here, well, about half of it, and I go in there and I lay down and I watch about 30 minutes of TV and I go to sleep. And that's it. When I get up in the morning, I might check Fox News when I first sit down out here just to see if there's anything I need to cover for the channel, see what's going on, if there was any big things going on overnight or anything. And then that's pretty much it. I move on and I work on my projects in my house and things like that until I get into work before I start paying attention to the news again. I think it's important to take it in moderation, but I also think it's important to know and understand what's going on. And the solution is not that everyone's corrupt, it's all bad, it's all negative, everything's terrible. That's an absolutist, and you shouldn't be an absolutist. That's just my opinion, because there is a lot of good out there, and I think that like right now. I think some of the best things that I've ever seen in politics are happening right now. I mean, Trump's breaking and fixing. That's what I care about. Yeah, if you say porn is bad, you're either one of these about 10% of us that really don't that don't have sexual desires or urges. And there's about 10% of the people for about 5 or 6 different reasons, but there's about 10% of the people that just have no sexual desire at all. A lot of these people end up being asexual, where they don't have sex with anybody because they don't care. They're not gay, they're not straight, they're not anything. They don't want sex. There's others that have dysphoria problems, that have physical problems, hermaphrodites and these kind of things. And because of the displacement and dysphoria, they don't have feeling and things like that down there. So there is a certain number, a certain percentage, it's about 10% of people that just do not have, that have very abnormal or no sexual desire down there. And for those people, if they tell you they've never looked at porn or they don't want to look at porn, that's fine. But if you're not one of those people, then you've looked at porn. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not. It doesn't embarrass me. I don't sit around all day long looking at it in the dark corner or in the bathroom with the door locked or in a long shower. But everybody does it, especially when you're alone and your friends and the people that you do stuff with are gone. What do? If your wife's gone or you're not married right now, you have no girlfriend, whatever your situation might be, you do what you got to do, and don't be embarrassed about it. You ain't got to talk about it if you don't want to, but don't be embarrassed about it. Yeah, I agree with you. Anybody that says that they don't like porn or they don't look at porn, I either figure they are somehow inept. They can't sexually do anything. They don't have any sexual desire, or B, they're just an effing liar. Yeah, I don't care. I'm not into porn like that. I couldn't tell you their names. I couldn't tell you anything about any of that. It's not like that. If I do use it from time to time, it's very utilitarian. It's not an entertainment thing for me. Modern porn is kind of ignorant, but at least they're shaved now. I mean, come on. Stormin' Norman Schwarzkopf. I haven't heard that name in a while. I remember old Stormin' Norman. Yeah. Well, yeah, you could certainly gorge yourself on politics like you can porn. But like porn, if you mess around with politics long enough, you'll lay there and your shit'll hurt. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what you're referring to with that, but if it's the shutdown, my suggestion, and nobody cares about my suggestion, but I'm going to say it anyway. My suggestion is hold your course. I would tell the Republicans, hold your course. You have done the right thing. You have entered a clear CR. That's all you have to do. Stay the course. It's going to be fine. Okay, let's see. Another U.S. Navy boat strike on a Venezuelan drug boat kills 6, escalates tensions in the area. They've moved an entire fighter group, entire attack group, whatever they call it. I'm not a big fan of this, to be honest. I'm a way over on the right somewhere, but I'll be honest, not a big fan of this. Not a big fan. I don't want to get in the nation building. I don't want to take out the leader and have to deal with that. I don't want to put boots on any ground anywhere. I don't want any of that. We're out of the neocon business in the Republicans. The Democrats are the neocons now. They're the ones starting wars. We're the ones ending wars. It's kind of weird how the roles have reversed, because Republicans used to be the biggest neocons in the world, and I'm kind of glad we're out of that phase because I got kind of sick of that whole thing. All right, the next thing I want to talk about, Tropical Storm Melissa threatens catastrophic flooding in the Caribbean. We've got a situation here with Jamaica, okay? Hello, man. At Jamaica, if you're in Jamaica, you better get ready, Baba Clot. I'm not that good, but I like to yell like Jamaicans. I had a chance to I went to inspector school with these Jamaican guys, and they were the most fun I've ever had with other human beings. And I used to ask them stuff like, what do you do when them hurricanes come? And they're like, I make a drink, man. I don't worry, man. You know, it was just, I love those guys. And all they ever do is run around and call each other, goddamn Bumba Clot. But anyway, I feel bad for them right now. The Jamaicans are about to get their pee-pee spanked. They're about to get 3 days and 3 nights of catastrophic weather with a direct landfalling major hurricane. The good news, well, if I can extrapolate some good news, it's not going to be a Cat 5, I don't think. Tony, I agree. That's why I'm glad Dick Cheney went over to the warmonger party. And he did. He switched over to the Democrats because he's a warmonger. He's a neocon. Here we go. Both parties are nuts. They're all corrupt. Yes, everything that involves humans is corrupt. Everything. Every football team's corrupt. Every referee on the field's been bought. It's all bullshit. Every human in the entire world, including you and me, would get away with not paying their taxes if they could. Okay? I'm telling you, it's in human nature. Okay? It's human nature. So no matter, anytime you get humans together, there's going to be corruption. It's going to be bad. It's going to suck. Yes. But you still have to pick a team. You still have to put a rudder on the boat, and you have to aim it in a direction, and you have to try to achieve it. And so that's why I'm not going to get into this whole discussion again. But I do get weary of people who won't even pick a side. Everybody's corrupt. Both sides are corrupt. It's all a cop-out. It's a cop-out. I'm sorry. Don't be a cop-out. Pick a side and then fix that side. Make your side better. Maybe it's a third side or another party. But just to stand back and throw your hands up and say it's all corrupt, I don't pay attention to none of it. That's not the answer. That'll never fix it. Won't fix it for your kids, your grandkids either. So anything on Del Rio, Texas? I'm not really familiar with what's going on there. I know it's down near the border, like you said, but I don't know. Is there something going on there? Oh, I see the border buoy barriers are back. That's cool. All right, I don't know what that's all about. Let's see here. Tony, I always side with the Constitution. That's the only way to be. Yeah, COVID, I'll tell you what, COVID proved a lot of things to me. One party, let me tell you what, Florida, we closed down for 2 weeks and we opened right back up. The entire state was wide open. We opened up and our death rate was lower than New York's. So, and New York was completely locked down. The virus was wrong. It didn't work. All right? The masks were wrong. They didn't work. The tests have been proven to be almost completely inaccurate and not worth using. When you start looking, this COVID thing was an absolute disaster from the top down. And although nobody's perfect in it, the Democrats were the ones that were trying to force vaccine mandates on people. That's against the Constitution. The Democrats were the ones closing down people's businesses and livelihoods. Not the Republicans. We were open here. We were open here. And we were doing fine here. So, COVID should have taught you a lot of things about both parties. About how one party is completely alarmist and was completely wrong. And how the other party managed the crisis much more effectively, much more calmly. And the outcome was much better. And now, because of COVID, people are moving here from New York and New Jersey and places like that were completely locked down. They're all moving here at record pace because of the high taxes, because of COVID lockdowns, and because, like in New York, they're electing a communist. Let's see here. Yeah, Lone Silencer, yes, the blue cities in Florida still did what they could to defy the governor and so on and so forth. And yeah, it wasn't perfect. But here in very red Southwest Florida, we opened pretty much right back up. And there was social distancing. The restaurants took out a lot of their tables. There was a lot of outdoor dining. The government, the cities down here, allowed them to sit out on the patios and out on the sidewalks and out by the street even, so that we didn't have to sit inside on top of each other. There was a lot of that kind of stuff that went on down here. We did do a lot of common sense things. We all wore the masks. Jesus God, I wore the mask. I wore the mask to work every day. We only wore it in the hallways. We didn't have to wear it at our workstations. It wasn't that big a deal down here. But man, when you lived in one of these socialist republics where they completely locked down everything and closed down businesses, and like that Lightfoot woman, while they're locked down and while all the hairdressers are all closed down all over town, she called and had her hairdresser open up because she needed her hair did. Yeah, she did. She needed her hair did. Why? Because she's on TV. She's important. She's the mayor. And since she needed her hair did, she called and had her friend open up the salon to do her hair. And Gavin Newsom went to the French Laundry. Remember that? These Democrats, a bunch of hypocrites, closing down their own city and then flying to they would fly here. These left Democrats were leaving their lockdown, closed down cities and closed down counties and states and flying here to vacation during COVID. They caught a bunch of them down here. She's a man. She looks like an alien. And the guy they elected now is worse than she is. I think they'd rather have her back. She did. She tried to justify it. Well, I'm on TV. What? So you can get your hair did because you're on TV? Well, that's bullshit. Look, our news people down here, I can remember them. I can remember things. It was weird. But we weren't shut down here. Everybody went to work every day pretty much. Oh, there you go. Your custom mask. You know what was just starting to catch on down here when the masks went away? Is people were having their face printed on the front of the mask. Which I thought was pretty funny. They were also trying out ones that were clear in the front for like healthcare workers, so you could see their lips and talk to people. But those never, I think they were still a little expensive because they never got popular. Yeah, that's how bad it is. See, when Democrats, when it gets bad for Democrats, they double down on stupid. And they'll take and they'll have a really, really bad, shitty left-wing mayor. And they'll vote her out and put in someone else that's further to the left, more of a nutbag, and absolutely off their rocker. I've never understood it. Yeah, don't get me started on Chicago. Yeah, don't get me started on Chicago there, Bab. I like to go down to Dicka's there when they're shooting the Bob Zorski Superfan show and talk about that particular team there, Bob. That particular team, the Bears. That was my favorite SNL sketch, by the way, the Bob Zorski Superfan show. John Goodman did it, Phil Hartman, Chris Farley, Dana Carvey. Oh my God, that was so fun. That was one of, and I've never even been to Chicago, but I got the accent down there. El Pastor, thank you for joining the crew. Welcome aboard. We'll assign you some quarters. All right. Yeah, I can remember that. I can remember that the news would come on and say that there's a possibility of a paper shortage, and then next thing you know, there's a run on toilet paper. And it's like, there was never a run on, it was never anything. It was all stupid. Yes, that's my favorite one. Chris Farley's sitting there. He's got coconuts on his boobs because they're doing some hula thing. And he's sitting there and he's like, hey, pass me that Polish sausage there, Pep. Yeah, okay, Chad. So he pass it over and he's eating it. And all of a sudden he's like, you know Chris Farley, right? Oh my God. And he starts going. He starts giving himself a precardial thump, right? Then he's stumping, and everybody's like, what's wrong there, Ted? He's like, I'm having a heart attack, man. And Jesus Christ. And then the best line comes at the end. He finally goes, oh, I'm okay. Where's that Polish sausage? And then he goes, so how many heart attacks is that for you there, Bab? And he's like, you know, Tad, I think that's a baker's dozen for me. That's my favorite Saturday night sketch. Almost as good. It's actually a little better than Christopher Walken Cowbell. If you're into SNL, you know that one. I don't watch SNL no more. It went left, it went woke, and I quit watching it. But back then, the first 10 years and the third 10 years were amazing. The old SNL, Dana Carvey, so underrated. Phil Hartman, God bless him, he was great. Chris Farley, these guys were amazing, and the sketches they did, and the oh my God, I miss that show. It's dead to me now. I won't even. All it is now is it's 90 minutes of Trump sucks, Big Orange Man bad. That's pretty much all it is. I'll tell you, I liked Mad TV, and I liked before that was In Living Color. All three of those shows were great. They In Living Color and Mad TV were both produced as an answer to SNL. They would come out 30 minutes earlier than SNL and try to steal that crowd, and they were both kind of the same thing. But Mad TV they were both really good. I like those kind of shows. Yeah, everything went woke. Fire Marshal Bill. There you go. He got his start on there, on In Living Color. He was the token white guy, if you will. He was so good on there. Yeah. I'm James Brown, bitch. Oh my God, I miss those days, dude. Yeah. I actually, there was a time when I liked the Weekend Report with, the guy that did it for so long, Dennis Miller. It was actually pretty good. He started getting way too negative on one side and getting, polarized. where there was a time when he joked with everybody about everybody, and then I slowly watched the Weekend Report over the years turn into they really only make fun of the Republicans. Yeah, and of course now it's just, my God, it's woke. Everything on there is woke. Everything's woke. Well, I'm bouncing all around tonight. Let me finish up with this here. Melissa is going to cause catastrophic rain, catastrophic mudslides. I saw a graphic earlier that is on the southern coast of Jamaica. The entire southern coast of Jamaica, just about. They're calling for 20 to 30 inches of rain. And I'm looking at all the modeling and stuff. That might be conservative. It may exceed 30 inches because it's going to end up sitting over them for 3-4 days and just raining and raining. And it's already raining now there, and it's going to continue raining there for the next 3 days until the storm actually gets there, and then it's going to continue to rain for 3 or 4 more days. Jamaica's got a lot of rain coming. So it's not just a wind situation. We may have 130, 140 mile an hour wind gusts along the coast. That's not unheard of. It's going to be bad. These folks are prepared for it. They're smart. They know how to deal with these storms. But this one's going to be pretty bad for them, I think. Hurricane watches are in effect for Jamaica and southern Haiti, with the storm expected to intensify to major hurricane status by the weekend, despite the current wind shear. I do want to go ahead and, if I can find my mouse on one of these 7 screens here, I do want to put up the forecast and show you guys where we're at right now. It's currently moving north at 2. It's crawling north at 2 miles an hour. And it is currently 65 miles an hour and is now forecast to be a hurricane this evening. Let's see, is this the latest? This is the 8 p.m. Wow. The very next forecast at 2 a.m. is forecast to be a hurricane. So we're in the final stages of it developing into a hurricane at this point. All right, let me put this graphic up so you guys can see where we're at here. This is what the storm is going to do. I want you to notice how close all them little circles are. Those circles are 12 hours apart. It actually moves back and forth a little bit here. It warbles and then finally starts to move off to the west as a major hurricane. And then it's going to sit south of Jamaica for 2 or 3 days down there. And then finally take a run at the island. Well, no, I don't think it's going to be a 5. I think it's going to be a 3 or a 4. None of the modeling is showing a 5 right now. But even a 4 for an island is catastrophic. See, it's different in Florida because the worse it gets, we can just keep moving inland. They can't move that far inland and all of a sudden they're on another beach on the other side and it's getting hit too. There is really nowhere to go on the island. They're all going to have to ride this thing out, or they're going to have to fly out, or they're going to have to get on a boat and haul ass. But it's really, it just doesn't, there's just nowhere to go. They're going to have to ride this one out. And with 30 or 40 inches of rain, there's going to be freshwater flooding with 140 mile an hour wind gusts coming up against the coast. There's going to be saltwater flooding. And then you're going to have the wind damage. You're going to have the debris, all the dangers that come from that. And then you're going to have wave action. And that's another thing. You may have 8 feet of surge. See, my TV station, when we got 12 feet of surge during Ian, or 9 feet, whatever we ended up with total, it went right up to the bottom of the generator outside the station. And we stayed on the air. But the problem was, as the storm got worse, the water was still below the generator. But all of a sudden, the wave action started coming up the creek. And next thing you know, we've got 6-foot waves striking the side of the generator. And it wasn't long before it swamped it. And we lost it. And then we were on batteries for a while, and then we were done. They had water. I wasn't there. I was home. Because radio goes home because they just turn all the radio stations over to the TV station, and I went home for Ian. They had 3.5 feet of water outside the building. The bulkheads held. We have these big bulkheads that go in, and they seal around the door, and they're 3.5 feet tall. It was lipping up over the bulkheads. That's how deep the water was at the TV station. They ended up with a foot in the studio, and they ended up with an inch throughout the entire first floor of the building. It was crazy. It was crazy. And luckily, our equipment all survived. They kept enough of the water out that all of our equipment survived, and we were able to go back on the air pretty quickly. But my mom's house didn't have bulkheads. The 4 foot of water came right through her house with her in it. My county was very late issuing evacuation orders. It doesn't look very well formed right now because it's not. Let me go ahead. Let me go over to Tropical Tidbits here. Well, here, I'll just pull it up right from here. There we go. This is the current infrared. Kind of take a look at that. It's there. It's forming. Remember, everybody always thinks that a hurricane always has an eye, and it doesn't. Many Category 1 hurricanes never form an eye. Eyes are something you get in 2s and 3s, more than just, lower level ones. Yes, in fact, I was around with Andrew. I can tell you all kinds of stories about Andrew. Andrew hit Homestead, south of Miami. I was on the initial response team. I boarded up my station here, at where I worked at the fire station, and I was the lieutenant on duty that night, and I had a crew of about 15 guys staying the night at the station, and we were all playing cards, listening to the wind blow outside, and we ended up getting nothing, not a single call. It was like, because the storm was heading for North Miami, and it was heading for like Bonita Springs area. It ended up ducking south at the last minute, and instead hitting Homestead south of Miami and going across and exiting about Marco Island, which is further south than Naples. So what that ended up doing was it ended up putting us on the clean side. We didn't get that much at all, really. I mean, we were way up, further up the coast on the other side of the state. So anyway, long story short, I got a call that they were activating the emergency communications team, and they called me, and I went. I went over there right away, and we arrived over there the next morning, and it was spooky. Ian was bad, but Andrew was worse. Andrew, the weather station on top of the National Hurricane Center was ripped off the roof by a 175 mile an hour wind gust, and it landed on top of all the meteorologists' cars in the parking lot. The entire array came off the roof, and that was built to withstand hurricanes. I saw block houses laying on the ground. I didn't see that for Ian. Tidal, yes. The tide will knock over brick buildings. I'm talking about wind damage, knocking over concrete brick block houses. I've only seen that once in my life out of a hurricane, and that was Andrew, because even though Ian had 155 mile an hour winds, Andrew was up in the 180s. And it had gusts over 200. This thing was like a tornado. It was incredible. Homestead was completely wiped out. We ended up going to Florida City, south of Homestead. We ended up picking up Lee County, my county, Lee County. We ended up picking up emergency services in Florida City, as well as several camps, including Centro Campesito, down south of Florida City, down near, down at the end of what they call Chrome or 997. There's a road that goes way down there. It's right before you start getting to the Keys. It's pretty far south. That whole area was wiped out. Centro Campesito was a Hispanic area of all fairly nice houses in a nice neighborhood, and these houses were knocked the F down. Some of the block houses were laying in rubble. Others, the roof was completely gone and it was just a shell. Others were just beat the shitting back to where you couldn't even live in them. I've never seen devastation like this. People lost everything. And it was a hurricane, not a tornado. But it looked like a tornado. Everywhere I went looked like a tornado. Every tree, there was no birds, there was no mosquitoes at night. There was no lights on at night. I'd be halfway between one of the camps and back at our home base at about 11 o'clock at night. And I'd find a spot and pull over. And I would just stand there and listen to the silence and look up at the stars. And to this day, I've never seen anything like that in my life. No city lights, no sounds, no air conditioners, no animals, no mosquitoes, no bugs, no crickets. It was spooky as F. It was a very strange time down there. The radio waves propagated very well because all the leaves were gone out of the trees, and it was all line of sight communication. So the VHF, the 2 meter as we call it now, was running really well down there. I was able to call back to Lee County on my 100-watt radio from Centro Campesito, which is about it's almost a 200-mile trip. It's like a 180-mile trip. So yeah, it was really cool. Well, that gray in the middle is just colder cloud tops. That's just colder cloud tops. I can show you some of these other ones here. This one here is the same thing. It'll show you, this one shows you the little white lightning specks. But you can see there, the lighter colors are the colder cloud tops. I know it doesn't seem right. We're talking about tropical and I'm talking about cold cloud tops. But it's true, the top of the storm is below freezing up there. And the higher and colder the cloud tops, the more the storm is forming underneath. This is a visible. But yeah, I don't see any sign of any kind of opening eye at this point. Maybe in that last frame, I mean, there's, right there, it almost wants to try to open up. Anyway, I think we will eventually see an eye here. But let's talk about the track. This is the most important thing. The reason that they've kind of told people in the United States to stop worrying is because this is what the tracks look like. If you could name this track, I would name it Jamaica is Screwed. Jamaica's the little island right there where all the elbows turn north. This thing's literally going to sit just south of Jamaica and then turn north and go right up through the middle of Jamaica. It's going to be kind of a mess. And we've got other models, and they're all pretty much showing the same thing. Some of them not showing it getting quite as strong as they were showing before. I don't know, we can only hope. But the story here is, it is looking even less likely tonight than it was last night that this is going to be anything that we have to worry about here in the United States. Just don't see it. I just don't see it. Give me just a second. I'm going to see if any new protest videos have come up. See what we got here. All right, hold on just a second here. We might have something to do. Damn it. How about a police pursuit? This is live right now.
The night sun, and hopefully they'll get out of the way. But here, there you can see he's going above 80 miles an hour right now, almost 90 miles an hour. So that's pretty dangerous.
Extremely dangerous.
That's pretty dangerous.
Initially was driving under the influence. Now, as he comes up just a few more miles, he's got a couple of options. He can either take the 134 and head east, or the 101 and head north, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, he's going to have options here soon. And then he can get on the 101. He can get on the 134. He's going to have decisions about where he wants to go. It'll be interesting to see if he stays in the area or if he does indeed kind of leave this area where he's kind of been, since about 6:40. So for the last 20-ish minutes, he's kind of been in this North Hollywood area. This is the farthest city he's straight, but he's headed back. He's headed back south now. So he's headed back to kind of where this pursuit began. We're dealing with a little bit of traffic up here from Burbank Airport. It's kind of, we're right near their airspace. So our shot's going to get a little bit long here, but we're going to keep an eye on this. But yeah, so
I think we got 3 shots.
Those LAPD, they're staying tight, they're staying close to this guy. We've seen in the past, sometimes LAPD will let things go, but in my experience, the past few months, LAPD has been rather aggressive in stopping pursuits and getting those drivers. We've seen LAPD units on the freeway during pursuits pulling right up next to.
Continuing southbound through Oxnard here on the 170 freeway.
All right, guys, this is live. This is a pursuit. Trying to get more information on it here. It's in LA County in Los Angeles, and we are watching it on 3 different networks.
Now pushing 90 miles per hour, passing Burbank here, committed to the 170, southbound side of the 170, heading straight down towards the 101 freeway. Not many more opportunities to exit, perhaps. I think that was his last one here. So he is crossing.
It's the last call for clearance at Lazy Boy.
Oh, whatever.
Right now, and Brian, the original want on this was driving under the influence, possibly drunk driver here. Do we know any other circumstances? Did they try to pull him over? Where did it happen?
Unfortunately, I'm not exactly sure where this happened. We know it didn't happen on the streets because this is LAPD. If it had been on the freeway, that would have been CHP initiating that. But we know that it started in North Hollywood on the streets
Okay, all three of these are live, and they're all three different. So we've got three different shots. They're all about 10 seconds behind each other.
Okay, it's hard to see. Where is he right now? Is he getting back on the freeway, or is he still on Riverside? There's sort of a weird area there.
And maybe getting on the, he's not on the freeway yet. Yeah, so there's only on the 101 right now. It's going to be 101, I believe. And it looks like the on-ramp on the 101. Yeah, it is the on-ramp to the westbound 101. Northbound 101, freeway travel westbound, through San Fernando. Oh, no, I think it's the 101 north. Yeah, this is the 101 north, so he's now back on the 101 north. And we're going to see how long he stays here. I'm going to throw that speedometer up so we'll get an idea of speed. There's not too much traffic. Right now, I'm looking out the window. 101 north is not too bad. The 101 south is easily doing about 85, 90 miles per hour. Again, really putting some distance here between that primary unit as he gets onto the freeway. Every time he does this, he really steps on it. And he's no trouble following it. Traffic is relatively moderate. It's not tight. It's really interesting. I know that the other side of the 101 freeway is almost bumper to bumper. But you only have about moderate traffic jurisdiction on the north end. So southbound side, very heavy rush hour traffic still running now by the north end. This does have some pavement not to play with to anyone else as he continues to over all the way back over. LA is pretty sure they will this person. They're confident that they will capture this person, and they're staying in this pursuit, not handing it off to CHP, and they're going to stick with this until they capture it.
Victor, most states have a law against making money with criminality, so you would have issues with that.
And the squad car is behind him. Is he picking up speed, or are they pulling back?
Is it a white Bronco?
So I think it's a little bit of both. So he's going 90 plus right now. I just saw 96 a moment ago. So at those speeds, the officers, they're going to back off a little bit. They're going to need a little bit more time to react. When, if he smashes on the brakes, if he collides with somebody, they're going to need more time to react. LAPD sending additional resources to this pursuit to try to catch up with this chase. Now, he's traveling a little bit out of North Hollywood Vision in the Van Nuys here on the 101 freeway. Luckily, this freeway is not too bad. Kind of crossing over the Canadian. The not-sure is looking to get back off the freeway or just west is acting like a drunk driver. He's wandering or DUI, north or west, possibly are, and kind of deeper into the possibility. No, and eventually kind of into the, and we're in the area of the process of trying to reach the West Hills area. So we'll see traffic up ahead here as he continues to go. The next quarter mile to half mile, hits the brake lights here. And he's going to get a little more desperate. He feels the pressure of this 405 101 traffic getting down to Sherman Oaks, northbound on the 101 freeway, coming up on Woodford Avenue, crossing over to the right as the freeway comes to a stop here. Very heavy volume in both directions, getting all the way over to the right. He does not like it, and he's going to look in here, possibly, as he comes up on Van Nuys Boulevard. Squeezing through traffic here, not quite bypassing the edge, yeah. So exactly like Van Nuys right here, there's 1.2 street there, there's continuing northbound 101. But yeah, we're seeing, just because he's in that far left-hand lane doesn't mean that he's going to stay there. We've seen him, dive dramatically across multiple lanes. So yeah, you go 405 freeways in about 1 mile. So he's going to make decisions there. He can stay on the 101, he can get on the 405. He's noticing that other traffic, get on the lights and sirens. There's going to be options. Slowing down, pulling over, drivers getting out of the way here on a busy Friday night here in Sherman Oaks. You can see on the 101 a little bit. After you really 405, it's always busy. That 405 driving a little bit more actually, not wild, but he's definitely driving very aggressive. He looks like he's staying right under the limit. That doesn't mean he's going to explain a lot. It also means that something is going to happen here and someone starts to drive more erratically, which is going to take very close to a lot of rush hour traffic here. A lot of the motorists who do not know what is coming up behind them, but the light sirens are blaring. These officers are code 3 behind this dozen.
LAPD officers at this point? Will they just let him run until he runs out of
bypassing the exit again?
Again, he's
looks like he's committing to the 101.
Do a pit maneuver, spike strips, a possible possibility here?
Obviously, get on the 405, that's the 405 split, getting up the north point here, just getting around traffic, not taking the exit, staying on the 101 freeway.
You know, people getting injured, vehicles getting
Northbound 101, passing the 405.
What they would need is do a spike strip. Usually they run parade, so they start thinking about where that car is going to be. They'll run a traffic break where the police officers stop the traffic.
Other cars, again, pulling over the shoulder, everybody aware now of this
in
chase.
front of the suspect that's fleeing. That takes a lot of coordinated effort, and it takes a bit of luck as well. Okay, so there you can see he's diving over to the left lane. So you can see traffic is getting
LAPD navigating heavy traffic with the suspect.
dangerous because there's
K9 units are on the way out to this pursuit to assist in the eventual felony stop that will hopefully take place. At the conclusion of this. We hope that this person eventually gives up continuing to remain committed to the 101 freeway here, getting all the way back over to the left, passing Haskett just to the west of the 405 freeway. He's had plenty of opportunities to get off here, but as he makes his way all the way across the Fresno Valley, he is now in Encino, northbound on the 101 freeway.
drivers get really reckless. When they'll go into what's called tracking mode, they'll pull the ground units off and they'll let the helicopter stay above that person. That helicopter has almost no trouble.
Okay, so you're watching live continuing coverage out of LA County, where they've got a DUI pursuit going on right now. And he's reached speeds over 100 miles an hour and currently on the freeway. And they're going to continue to chase him. If you guys are having a hard time with the audio, use headphones or earbuds, because the different chopper pilots are in your two different ears. Yeah, all the stuff that police choppers do now will be replaced by drones in the next few years. There's no reason to risk putting humans up in the air anymore. We can achieve everything from the ground. Yeah, I think I saw something about that with the gas station. Yeah, for a DUI, he's driving okay, but I don't know. Let's keep listening.
In the 90s, probably about as fast as we'll see out of this vehicle. All right, there he goes.
Bypassing another exit. That's a occurrence. Continuing northbound 101. We do not have visibility into this vehicle. It seems as though it may just be the driver, but we do not have that information confirmed. Again, this was a DUI suspect.
All right, so what was from Mike has been telling us that LAPD is speaking with CHP to get them involved in the pursuit.
Just weaving around everybody in the way here as traffic starts to get even heavier.
It's tightening up.
As he moves past the 405 and gets further into Encino here, there's a lot more traffic that may provoke him to get off the freeway. And every time we see these road points, he straddles them and then gets right back onto the freeway. He appears to be more comfortable on the freeway, even if he has to use the shoulder here. He is using the shoulder where he has to, but you have other vehicles that are trying to get off on the shoulder to allow LAPD to maneuver through here, and they have their lights and sirens blaring. You have regular traffic basically making way for this pursuit, and he is threading these lanes here, splitting lanes, to fight rush hour traffic here. They can run at the top of 7 o'clock now.
Throw off spike strip, do something that LAPD might not have the ability to do on the freeway.
You know, it is amazing to watch the driving here, how he's weaving in and out of the traffic. The one thing you can't help but notice is this was originally a want for a DUI suspect. So there was no report that the car was stolen. So chances are they know who's driving this vehicle, correct?
Yeah, that's a good bet to make, because they weren't looking at a stolen vehicle, which you never know who's going to steal a vehicle. But because it was, a want for DUI, it's likely the owner of the vehicle's in there, and he's the one driving. And we have seen in the past where when they suspected it's DUI, when they suspect that they know who's in that vehicle, they will pull off the ground units and let them go and go get them later. They'll be like, well, we know where you live. We have your name. We have your address. We can come get you. So that does happen sometimes. But
right now, he's not presenting enough danger to the public, and from the LAPD's perspective, to call this pursuit off. So they're looking to keep this guy and get him, and hopefully get him soon.
Brian, I'm going to ask you the exact location
No
here. I'm
passenger in
looking
the
at
front.
the banner on your mapping system here, and it says the 101 at Woodman, but I know we're way beyond Woodman at this point.
Not a Honda?
Yeah, so so we have also just heard that they believe the suspect is armed. Yeah, so that map, that's actually not correct. We're getting into the West Valley now. We passed the 405 a while
Thinking that
back.
might actually be a
so we're probably
Nissan
coming up. I'm
vehicle,
not
a
exactly
Honda.
sure.
We said Honda, but it looks like
yeah,
it
we're
might
coming
be
up to the West Valley
a newer
right now,
model
kind of,
Nissan.
So you have
Again,
a couple
heavily
of
tinted
exits
windows
there.
here. He
I'm
is
not sure. I'm trying
continuing
to
to
look
weave
at this
all
and see
over
if
the
there's
101
anything familiar.
freeway here
You have
as
White Oak,
LAPD
you have Tarzana.
stays right on
beyond
his
that,
tail,
you
code
have
3,
Van Alden,
in hot
and
pursuit
then
of
you
the
get
suspect, passing White Oak Avenue
much
as they
further
wait
out,
for
you'd be
California
at,
Highway Patrol
Topanga
to
Canyon.
enter the
What do we
area.
have
They
here?
are trying
that was
to
Reseda and
coordinate
Tampa.
that,
Those are
but
what,
it
yeah,
is very
Reseda's
difficult
coming up,
under
and then
these
Tampa.
traffic
So
conditions,
we're getting far into the
there
West
should be some
Valley
units
now.
able to get in place here. They'll
Reseda and Tampa,
eventually
those, and,
likely
we'll have
take
Topanga
over this
after that
pursuit
eventually.
once they have a full
but yeah, we're
pursuit
going to be getting
package
into
behind the
eventually,
suspect
like
here. Right
Laguna
now,
Hills,
LAPD
like,
doing
we're
all the
gonna
work.
be moving into
That
that
primary
area,
unit with 3
and,
units
we'll just
behind
kind of
him.
see what happens. You can see
And the
LAPD's kinda
helicopter
backing
right
off a little
overhead.
bit. I wonder if CHP's coming in, but yeah, they're actually backing off a lot right now. So I'm wondering what exactly the call is. They backed way off.
CHP is
Here's
trying
our
to catch
suspect
up.
vehicle.
That is
He's still
correct.
driving. The air unit's still overhead. And of course, no turn signals, so nobody around him knows what's going on or what he's doing. And this is getting a bit more dangerous as those police units
Getting a little further into the valley here, starting to lighten up as traffic thins out in Tarzana. He does not have all those brake lights that he had just a few seconds ago. He's actually
it's hard to tell
starting
because you see
to
the chopper
encounter
overhead.
lighter traffic,
You're
passing
right.
Reseda
Tampa's
Boulevard.
coming up in 1 mile here. Chopper overhead. He hasn't turned his lights
And
off.
with
correct?
lighter traffic, you can see he's starting to pick up
Correct.
a
He
little
has not
bit
turned
of
his lights
speed.
off
We'll go
yet.
ahead and throw
We
a
see
real-time
that a
speed
lot,
tracker doing
with
right
pursuits
around
at
90
night.
miles per hour.
But right now, this person, he's got his headlights on. He hasn't turned those off. A lot of cars nowadays, though, they have running lights that they're not the easiest things to turn off. So, so yeah, but he's got his lights on. So they're okay. So let's see. I think that's the LAPD back right on top of our suspect. I don't think the CHP has been handed off yet. But like I heard moments ago from our desk informing me that they do suspect this person is armed. So that might be one of the reasons that they are. So we're coming up on Winnetka, DeSoto,
Passing
and
Tampa
Cahuenga,
Avenue now, you can see him put a little bit of distance between
so
him and
we're
that
coming up on
primary
Winnetka
unit,
now.
still trying to keep up here as
so we're
California
getting far
Highway
into the
Patrol
West Valley. So
races to
LAPD
get into
is
position
probably
here.
pursuing the person because they
LAPD
suspect
is
he's
starting to
armed.
let him fly.
They're not
He is
gonna just
really
let
picking
that
up
person
speed
go.
here on the
They're gonna
northbound
wanna keep
side
an eye
of the
on him, make
101
sure that he
freeway,
doesn't
heading
do
into
any
Woodland
damage
Hills now,
with that
passing Winnetka
suspected
Avenue
weapon that
and
he has with him
encountering
there in the
much
vehicle.
lighter traffic as he
reminder
gets
for people who are
further
just now
up
joining
into
us.
the valley where it looks like we might be
This
heading into
chase
Ventura
started
here
in North
if he
Hollywood
continues. We've
at
got
about
some time,
6:40
but he
tonight.
appears committed to
Originally,
the 101 freeway. He
the
can take
want,
this all the way up the
looking at
101
this
freeway.
guy,
That is
as a
why
DUI
LAPD is
suspect,
preparing
and
to
now
hand
we've
this
just
off
learned
to the
that he may or
California
may
Highway
not be
Patrol.
armed.
If it leaves their
So,
jurisdiction, they
right
will
now, I
certainly do
believe we're
that.
on
They
the
appear
101
to be
headed
willing to give
north,
this up. It is
coming up
merely
on
a
DeSoto
DUI driver
and maybe
behind the
Canoga
wheel,
right after that.
possibly armed. He may have actually
Yep,
thrown
that's
that weapon
correct.
out. He threw something out of the vehicle early on
Give us an
in
idea
this
of his
pursuit.
speeds at this point.
We do not know what he threw out, but we believe that they may have been able to get a hold of it. Either way,
Faster than traffic, so I would suspect that he's going about
Yeah, that, I
75,
have to
80 miles
admit,
an hour probably.
you know,
The traffic's
if
not
you
too
approach
heavy
an
here.
armed checkpoint and you,
but yeah, we're
and you don't
moving
do
faster
exactly
than the
what you're
flow
told,
of
bad things
traffic right
happen.
now.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
All right, CHP is now closing in.
Lanes, which is where generally that faster traffic,
There he
lives,
is.
which is good.
California Highway Patrol now taking over the pursuit. LAPD with the official handoff right there. That CHP unit now right on his tail. We will see how the nature of this pursuit changes as the agencies have just done the proper handoff. That is California Highway Patrol right there, right behind the suspect, and now LAPD will back off. They will keep their helicopter in place. That LAPD airship will assist California Highway Patrol in calling out the location of this pursuit. pursuit,
doesn't
and he is
appear
now committed to
that
the
he's
northbound
clipped
side of the
anybody
101
or hit
freeway,
any
passing
other vehicles,
Canoga
does it?
Avenue as
No,
California
he's
Highway
come
Patrol
close. He has
closes
the
in
vehicle
here
up.
with
There you
at
go.
least
That's
2
it.
units,
Okay,
with more
CHP.
on the way out
Those
here.
are CHP units that just took over the pursuit. Those are, you can see those are different
LAPD backing
police
off,
vehicles. Those are the
CHP
Dodge,
taking
Charger
over,
or Challenger.
and you can
So
see
that's
a
CHP.
lot less
LAPD
traffic
typically
as
grabs
we head in through Woodland Hills.
So now this has been handed off to CHP. So this is going to be interesting. CHP, they have different tactics. They have different rules of engagement. They have different ways of doing things. Sometimes they're more aggressive. Sometimes they're not. In my experience, watching a lot of pursuits, CHP tends to be more aggressive. So we'll see what happens with this person as they continue with the CHP pursuing them. But yeah, so right now they have been, it's been switched over. CHP has taken over this pursuit because he's been on the freeway, because he's been here on this freeway for so long. They probably thought, you know what, we need to get our officers back into areas they're familiar with, and we need to make sure that CHP can handle this. It's on the freeways, and so they've handed it off to CHP.
Yeah, that does look like a newer model Nissan,
Added
well
element
equipped.
of danger here. The
Very
LAPD
capable
has
vehicle,
confirmed
and he
the
is
driver of
exercising
this
that
car
power here as he
is
continues
armed.
up the 101 freeway
they
here.
suspect that. I don't know that
Of course, we
have
have no
confirmed
idea
that,
how much
absolutely,
gas was in the
but
tank
they
when
do
this all
suspect
started.
the vehicle,
But
the driver
California
of this
Highway
vehicle
Patrol
has
obviously
been
has the
armed.
resources to exhaust every
Once
ounce
again,
of
can you
fuel
give
in
us an
that gas
idea of
tank.
location?
As far as he wants
Yeah,
to
so
take
right
this
now
right
here, I'll pull
now,
out-
he
I'll pull out
again
a little bit here.
appears
We're
to
getting,
be way
deep into
more
the West
comfortable
Valley.
on the freeway than surface streets. And now
Okay, so I have
would
just
say
heard
that the
that they
bulk of
did
this pursuit
confirm
has
that
indeed
this
been
subject
on
is
freeways
armed,
between
that
the 101
they do have
freeway
some
and now
sort
in
of
the last
weapon.
10
There you
minutes,
go,
at
Winnetka,
least the last 10
Mulholland, and
minutes,
Valley
on the
Circle.
101
So we're
freeway,
way
maybe
into
more
the
than that
West
now by
Valley,
now. He's
at the very
continued to
far
make his
west
way
end
from
of the
North
San Fernando
Hollywood
Valley,
all the way out
Winnetka,
to Woodland
Mulholland.
Hills.
That's,
With
so
no
we're gonna
signs
be,
of getting off here.
getting
He's
into,
had plenty of
less-
opportunities
more
to
bedroom
get back on the
communities of
streets,
Los Angeles.
get
It's not
off
gonna
at some
be
of
as
these
much,
exits, and
businesses
maybe
out
try
here.
and lose the
If
cops,
he gets
but
off the freeway out
doesn't
here, he's
seem
going
to
be
be
in
his
neighborhoods
intention.
for quite some time, unless
Absolutely.
So that's gonna be interesting if he decides to get off the freeway. Right now, it looks like this suspect is content to just cruise on the freeway and just go north on the 101. So we're north on the 101. I believe that's Winnetka that we're about to pass. Yep, that's Winnetka. And so we're just moving north, and this person continues at a decent rate of speed, going about 80 miles an hour right now. Just continuing this pursuit with CHP now behind them.
Brian, as you mentioned, the CHP is now behind him. Typically, they will roadblock or close off some of the entrances to the freeway. Are you noticing any of that?
Right now, we're not. I'm looking out the windshield of the helicopter in front of us right now. Traffic is relatively light. I don't see any stops. I don't see any on-ramps being closed right now. And I don't see any traffic breaks being run. But the traffic
once again, if you're just joining us on ABC7.com and our 24/7 streaming channels, Chris Christie up in Air 7 as we continue to follow this high-speed pursuit now in the San Fernando Valley. LAPD handing this pursuit off to California Highway Patrol moments ago as they continue to chase this DUI driver, possibly armed, up the 101 freeway. This started in North
Once again, if
Hollywood.
you're
Those
just joining us,
LAPD
we're
North Hollywood
following
units
this police
have
chase,
officially
this
pulled off
pursuit
just seconds
through the
ago.
San Fernando
And now
Valley
California
right
Highway
now.
Patrol
He is
prepared to take
deep
this
into
into
the
Ventura County
west side,
if
coming up
necessary.
on,
You
I
can see he
believe,
is now
Calabasas
coming
and
into
those
the
areas at
Calabasas
this
area
point.
as we continue northbound on the
original
101
want on
freeway,
this was,
all the way over to the
suspected
left
DUI,
with very light
but the
traffic to
LAPD has
speak
also
of. He made
confirmed
his way through
that
some
the
very heavy
driver of
traffic
this car
as he came
is
up
armed.
through the
And we're going to
405,
continue streaming this
bypassed the
coverage
405,
live on our
and is
NBC4
continuing
Los Angeles
through the
News
hills
channel.
here
You can
as
find
he
us wherever you stream or
navigates
on
the
our
101 freeway
NBCLA
at
app.
a relatively high rate of speed here, passing Las Virgenes at about 90 miles per hour.
Ensuring life's journey and experiences along the way. AAA, we're always with you.
Yeah, we're coming up on Valley Circle here, so we're really, and like you said, we're going to be getting into that Calabasas area.
Once again, that suspect
freeway
holding on
is,
steady to
as
the
you can
left
tell, we're
lane
getting
all the way
lighter
over
and
to the
lighter
left.
traffic as we continue.
He's had no problem
west
weaving
and
across
north
lanes
on
if he
these
does want to get off at
freeways.
the last second here. He's even shown
what we do know about this is
some
that
ability to maneuver the vehicle
all of
and
a
try
sudden
and
it changed from a
evade
DUI suspect
these officers.
to
Every time that
confirmation from the
LAPD officer early
LAPD
on in
that
this
the driver
pursuit tried
here
to get a
is
little bit
armed.
closer,
And
he would
typically
really
when
step
that
on it. And I
happens,
imagine
Brian,
we'll see
they
that same
treat this
tactic
wholly
as we
differently,
continue
don't
up the
they?
101 freeway
Exactly,
here. But
right.
right now,
There's a
no
whole
signs
new
of getting
variable
off all the way
that's
over
going
to the
on
left here
when you're chasing
as he
a suspect that
continues
is
to push
armed.
almost triple
There's going
digits
to be
speed.
different standards that you're going to employ when this eventually comes to an end. There's going to be much more methodical procedures that they're going to do because this person has been suspected of being armed. So and it also becomes just more dangerous and a lot more unpredictable. It's not a good situation for anybody involved.
All right, Brian, we're going to stay with your picture. We're going to bring in Sergeant Dan Keene with the Southern Division of the CHP. Sergeant, are you with us?
Good evening, yes.
What can you tell us about this right now? You've got units behind it. How far will you go, and what's the protocol?
Yeah, so we're going to stay with this pursuit as long as
Is that still
we are
LAPD's
involved.
airship right
We're going to transition over to different areas. Even if it leaves the county, we have different units that will follow it outside of the county.
Weather
since
coming
the
up.
LAPD
Yep,
has
I see
requested
that.
our assistance with this pursuit. And like you were saying, if
Who's this?
the individual is armed and dangerous,
Okay.
a few different tactics may develop throughout the pursuit. We may add in
Copy
a couple additional units to help and show a little bit more caution.
Suspect
when
holding
it
on
comes to
steady
the
here to that left
termination of
lane
the
at
pursuit.
85 miles
Bottom
per
line
hour,
here, do you
passing
just
Liberty
let him
Canyon
run
Road.
until he runs out of
LAPD now
gas
backing
here?
out of this
Because
pursuit completely, as I mentioned. California Highway
we know
Patrol.
the LAPD is saying he is armed.
That down there on the ground, taking over the
Every
pursuit.
pursuit is
LAPD right
different.
overhead,
There
though,
are
with their
different tactics
airship,
that you've
helping
seen
out
with
those
spike
CHP
strips,
units
hit
as the
maneuvers,
suspect
different
makes his
things like
way
that. So
You
through
would
more
attempt a
hills
pit maneuver
at a
when
high rate of
I don't mean
speed
to
with
interrupt, but I
very
was just
little
surprised when
traffic
you
in
said
his
that.
way here.
You would attempt
He's
a
going to
pit
continue
maneuver
to make his way
on
up
a
towards
car with a
Ventura
suspect
County,
that's
where
armed?
eventually there may
Like I
be
said, every
some
situation
weather
is
to
different.
contend with,
It
and that may
depends on the
affect
situation
not
at
only
hand,
that
but our
LAPD
ultimate
airship,
goal
it could
is to
also
end this
affect
pursuit
our
safely
ability
to
to
ensure that
continue
no one
following this
gets
pursuit.
injured.
We will keep you posted on that, but looking off the nose
What
here,
else do you
it does
know
get
about
a
this?
little
Do you know if there are
overcast
any
as
other
that marine
passengers
layer
in the
settles
car?
in
This
over
particular
Ventura
case?
County. In the meantime,
No, we're still getting
that
additional
suspect
information
still
from
driving in a straight
LAPD,
line. This is a
but
DUI
they just
suspect
requested us to
who's
take
been able to
over. We know
maintain
that
pretty
they
decent
shared
control
that
of the
the
vehicle.
individual is possibly
He
armed
has shown
with a
signs of
weapon,
evasion here,
so
but he
we are
has
going to use that
had
caution
pretty,
and stay in this and
shown pretty
use
good confidence behind the wheel for the
our
most
best
part.
judgment in this pursuit at all times.
Again, a
You know,
well-equipped,
Sergeant, we
newer
cover a
model
lot of
Nissan.
pursuits. We see a lot of them.
Heavily
But we
tinted
never really
windows.
get a chance to break it down and talk with someone like you. Give us an idea of what it's like. Somebody on scene in one of those patrol cars. Who's in charge
Above us?
here?
I see.
At the situation, we have different officers. The primary officer is going to be focused on driving and following the suspect. We have our airship overhead where they would be calling the pursuit for us.
Is that typically the lead vehicle here? Sergeant,
Copy that. Thank you.
have we lost Sergeant Keene?
Thank
I
you.
think you did, lady.
Okay, let's go back out to Brian. Sergeant,
you
you
hear me
with
now?
us again? Yes.
All right, now
Yeah.
sounds
is
like
that
California
Oh,
Highway
good,
Patrol
good.
is
Is that
preparing
typically
to
the lead
create a
vehicle,
traffic
the
break
person who is
behind this
sort of
chase.
calling the
That
shots
will
out there?
definitely help as we continue
typically
this
the pursuit-
pursuit into Ventura County here. It'll
on
minimize
scene.
the exposure
Like I said,
here.
our airship that's overhead.
If this does
Okay.
come to an end on the
Calling out the
freeway,
things, but
they will have a
ultimately we
lot
do
more
have
room
a
to play with here.
supervisor
They can create
who
that
will
traffic break
monitor this
behind the
pursuit
suspect
and make those
prevent any
decisions.
other
When
motorists from
you,
getting involved here. So
when the car
we'll
is not
see
stolen,
if they can successfully
so you
execute
have
that
plates on
traffic
a
break
car,
right now.
I would assume you
only
run
see
the
about
plates
3 or 4
and know who's driving?
CHP units in tow here.
We
So
wouldn't know
I count
exactly who
3.
is
There
driving
are
the
more
vehicle.
behind
We
them
could run the
trying to
license
create
plate
that
of it,
traffic
do our
break.
best to make a fair
Eventually,
judgment
they may
of
even
the
start
vehicle
blocking
belongs
off some
to
of the
and
entrance ramps
do some due
ahead of them here,
diligence
but
and follow up at the address
we'll see how much
to see if
manpower
it
they
is
have
the
tonight.
registered
Again,
owner
it is,
driving the vehicle.
passing Lindero
But
Canyon
that's all part of what
at
we're constantly doing with our
110 miles
dispatchers
per hour.
and
Again, a
our
well-equipped
different units
Nissan
that are
front-wheel
involved.
drive,
I would
likely
assume
run
that's
flats
done real time,
on
very
this
quickly
vehicle.
when this is going on.
Yeah, as fast as we can. So there are multiple people behind the scenes that are also working as well, not just our units that are out there. We have our dispatchers and other units that we use that have access to programs to
And
see where the
CHP
registrar
matching
is
up with
at.
our real-time speed
People are
tracker here,
associated with the
clocking them at
residents, prior calls for
110
service,
miles per hour.
contacting the local police department to assist us with this. So it's more than just the units that you see on scene.
Would you typically then have some sort of negotiation or phone call with a driver like this?
If there's that option for us, that is definitely something that we would try to employ.
Give us an idea of what happens next in this sort of scenario, just looking at the chase that we're looking at right now.
So we never know. We never know. We are kind of just following along and looking for opportunities to safely end this pursuit. The ultimate goal is that
Certainly
this
appears
individual
as though
just pulls over.
CHP is giving him a
Let's
pretty
say I'm
wide berth
driving
here.
northbound on
And
the
why
101
not?
right
You know,
now,
with a
and I
pretty
see all
empty
of this
freeway, just
in
let
my
him exhaust as
rearview
much
mirror.
fuel as
Best
possible.
advice for drivers.
I'm sorry, I had myself a little low, I guess. What I was saying was the cop lights all look like they're synchronized.
Nowhere for him to really hide on the freeway here. As long as he remains on the freeway,
Anything
this
we
is one
missed
of those
that you'd
chases
like to
where it is best for everybody involved to continue this on the freeway. For the DUI driver, the last thing you want to see is him
Tommy's catch up.
driving a crazy person on Service Street. So as long as he's on the freeway, holding on to those continue to follow him straight up the freeway, straight into Ventura County. The only problem that I see
think they're going to
is
get
that
away.
that helicopter, that LAPD airship, is helping CHP. May have to pull off in the next several miles. Oxnard Airport reported low IFR conditions, and that will affect all of the aircraft heading into Ventura County here as we get closer to Camarillo eventually. So we've got
And
some
chances are
clear skies
this
ahead of
driver's
us
not going to
up
get
until
away,
I would say about 6 or 7 miles.
They're not going to get away.
Clearly closes
Well,
up
we
for all
certainly thank you
involved,
for your
news
time.
media as well
If
as
we
law
get
enforcement.
anything
So
else,
he's going to
please
continue,
let
it
us
looks
know.
like,
We're going to go
straight
back
up the 101
outside
freeway,
to
hold it
Brian
steady in that
Andrews.
number 4
Brian,
5
can you
lane,
give us an idea of
and
location right
passing
now?
Millmore.
Yeah, Thousand Oaks right now. We're coming up to Thousand Oaks, and we're actually coming up to the 23.
Thousand Oaks.
So we're in Ventura County.
I don't know, these cars nowadays, they're designed to drive like this, 100 miles an hour for as long as the gas runs. I don't know. Now, if they damage one of his tires with spike strips or something, all bets are off.
Through Thousand Oaks and deeper into Ventura County, kind of like towards Camarillo is where we're headed. You can see LAPD still overhead with their ship following this guy. Unfortunately, we've got weather coming in. As we get closer to the coast, we get closer to more inclement weather. We've got
Still doing triple-digit speeds here, straight up the 101
pushing
freeway,
towards us, and
crossing
we're
over
flying
a little
towards.
bit over to
So
the
we're
number 2
going to stay
lane.
with this absolutely as long as we can. But eventually, we're going to run into those clouds, and we're not going to be able to continue on. But in the meantime, yeah. So he just had the 23 east side of the interchange. Now, if he'd taken the 23, that would have taken him kind of towards Oak Park and Moore Park, and eventually Simi Valley into 118. But we've seen him continue on the 101 here. He's slowed down a little bit, and as you can tell, we've gotten away from LA. There's not a lot of traffic now. I'm looking out the window, and there's pretty minimal traffic ahead of him. He's kind of been sustaining about 75, 80 miles an hour for a lot of this year.
There's still, we're seeing Portland tonight. The 3 other shots that I have here are all Portland. The 2 above here and the 1 over in that other corner way over there. Those are all Portland. Outside that same ice building.
Almost an hour into this pursuit. We know it started about 6:40 was the initial call out, and it's almost 7:40 now. So he's been thrashing that vehicle for a while now, and we're definitely outside of the area that he was in earlier as we get into Camarillo and that area, kind of the Conejo Valley is where we're headed.
Brian, are you seeing, it's astonishing to me.
Continuing through Thousand Oaks here, northbound side of the 101 freeway, a hot pursuit on a Friday night, California Highway Patrol, taking us from Los Angeles County now into Ventura County, now asking for help from Ventura County CHP to get involved.
No, we're actually not. We're not seeing a whole lot of that at all. I think there's just not a lot of traffic out here right now.
Another CHP office here.
Yeah, there's some big storms in Texas. We were watching that before this pursuit started.
And so they're just kind of staying
LAPD has already hit
This
this
is
off
not
once.
traffic
CHP
here.
may be about to do it again here.
But that may mean that we see CHP, you know, like the officer you were talking to was saying, they might perform a pit maneuver around here where there's a lot less people and there's just less going on. So we're kind of getting to that weather now. You can see this getting away from us as we fly. You can see the pictures getting a little bit milky. That's because we're flying into that marine layer, but we're going to stay with it as long as we can.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear the sergeant talk about a possible pit maneuver with a suspect in a car who may be armed. According to the LAPD, he is, but again, may or may not be armed here. It's kind of surprising that would happen, because any of the things we've heard in the past have indicated they wouldn't do that. They just let him go until he ran out of gas. But of course, as the sergeant so aptly pointed out, each and every chase is so very, very
Yes, we are still following the breaking weather news. No tornado warnings at this time, just severe thunderstorm warnings. We are watching it in Texas. We've got a storm chaser on the ground, and I'm keeping an eye on that in the background. So it is there.
It's different every time now. You can see they're getting away from us. That weather is pushing in. Over the 101 freeway,
through clouds.
visibility just
So,
drops.
unfortunately, this might be the end of our coverage of this pursuit. We'll stick with it as long as we can. But unfortunately, yeah, we can't fly it. You can see as they pull out. You can see that marine layer, those clouds. We can't get through there. Unfortunately, that ends our coverage of this pursuit. Brian Andrews, News Channel 4. I love my
Who are now
job.
chasing this suspect
All right,
with
Brian,
ground
thank you.
units
Thank you for the
only,
coverage this
further
evening.
up and
Once
towards
again, we'll
Camarillo in
figure out
Ventura
what's
County, where you can
going
see that
on
thick
here. We'll
marine
have the very
layer
latest for you tonight
blanketing
at 11.
Ventura
This is
County and
Jason
blanketing the 101
about
freeway.
an hour,
The suspect
suspected
disappearing
DUI
into the
suspect,
mist.
armed according to the
CHP
LAPD,
with a full
disappeared from
contingent of
the
officers
our
on the
vantage
ground
point,
there, getting ready to
but,
hand it off
chase
to
continued. We'll
neighboring
have the latest tonight.
neighboring offices, I should say, in Ventura County, and eventually will be turning around, heading back home.
Look at
But,
that marine layer,
this
guys. Do you
pursuit,
see that?
or at least our
Upper left
coverage of
corner.
this pursuit,
Look at that. It's like a dome over the city. And all the choppers have flown into it now.
continue straight at the 101.
And there we go. They're off.
Unless he turns around, that's going to do it for our coverage. We have now lost visual completely of this DUI
Arizona
suspect
Attorney
who is
General
taking
Chris
law
Mays
enforcement
is
for
suing
quite the ride this
Republican
evening.
House Speaker Mike
See what it looks
Johnson
like
for
during the
refusing
day,
to
but
swear in Representative-elect Adelita Grijalva, who was elected a month ago in a special election to represent more than
Now it's up to
800.
those ground units to do all the work, have to keep up with them at a really high rate
Shut
of speed.
up.
That vehicle certainly capable of some extreme speeds. You saw him doing triple-digit speeds for a little bit there. Again, a DUI driver behind the wheel, still an unpredictable situation. We'll continue to keep an ear on this situation. And if it is...
All right, and Fort Worth now, heavy rain conditions currently in Fort Worth, and we're going to see this moving into Dallas now. Bam, right there, downtown
President, I come to
Dallas.
the floor today to talk about one of the greatest
what
threats
the hell?
facing our country today.
Holy hell.
Islamic extremism.
Beck, I can't even say it, it's so damn bad. So that's it, that pursuit's out, guys. They went into marine layer, they can't fly. It's fog, heavy fog. And that's it. Yep. So there you go. And we are out. And that's that. Let me see if I can find any other protest stuff going on here. Okay, I do believe all these are live now. This is in Portland, where there is a gathering there of about 50 or so protesters, and we're getting the circles. I don't think that's on my side. I think that's, I don't know, they might be challenged there a little bit. I don't know. Then again, it could be here. I don't know. It's weird. But let's just keep going here. These are live out of Portland. Let me see what I can kill on this end, just in case it's my bandwidth on this end. Yeah, Dallas downtown. Yeah, we've got a bit of a bulge here in this line, and we're going to get some pretty strong straight line winds going right through downtown Dallas, and they are just now getting to. Let's see, which one is this? This is the top picture here. You can see that's kind of moving slightly. That's right here on the edge of this line. So you can see this is the camera site, and there it is. It's come right up to the camera site. So that's why it's moving around, because it's getting buffeted by wind right now, and I'm sure a very heavy rain's going to start there in just literally a matter of moments in that top one. The bottom one, it's already overtaken it there. And then, of course, we've got our storm chaser here, which is up here. And this is all coming together, and going to go over him here in just a minute. You can see it coming right up. And right there, it's just about to hit where he's at, too. So we got three different deals going on there. Let's see. Let's listen to some ambient sound and see what it sounds like.
On
She didn't
PayPal,
even say nothing to you, and you got triggered.
Alice, thank you for the $10. Great channel, Arturo. I am
Hilarious, bro. We got a couple
a
channels. He couldn't help but to
London,
laugh, bro.
UK.
He was laughing, bro. That guy had that cop dying right now. He was trying not to laugh, bro. He couldn't help it. Daryl, thank you, bro. Oh, shit.
Can I tell you guys honestly, I think that this is becoming like a college hangout. I really do. I do. I think this whole thing's just becoming a whole big college hangout, where every night we meet down in front of the ice building, we wear a costume, we act a fool. You know, I'm starting to really think this is a thing for these kids. I mean, what do you see here? I see a bunch of kids, and they're all just showing up every night. But there's Mr. Potato Head right there. I don't know if that's the real Mr. Potato Head. I doubt it. I doubt he would be involved in something like this. But yeah, I mean, come on. Look at what you got here. It is starting to be lame. I'm still covering it, but I'm covering everything else too, if you know what I mean. I'm not devoting too much time to it. If I can find good video of what's going on, I'll put it up. These are all live, to the best of my knowledge anyway. All you hear is a bunch of kids talking about, oh, the other day I was eating this biscuit and it was all tarred and I don't know what to say. I'm like, dude, do they never, you never hear them discussing like what they're protesting. I don't think any of them give a shit about any of it. I really don't. Especially the younger males. Now the females, they tend to be more into the Trump's Hitler and all that, throwing rocks. But man, these young beta males, like these kids here we're listening to, these young beta males, I really start to believe that they're really just, this has become the new thing now. And their wives are cool with it because they're out there protesting bad orange man. Yeah, maybe the Coast Guard guy will show up. Well, that's where we're, Canna, I believe that's where this is. This is the Broadview Detention Center that they're standing in front of here. Pretty sure. There is a number of people that have gone live suddenly. I've got about all the different views up, but there's still a lot of people mirroring. Plus, you got all your 112 spoof channels going. Yeah, this is a bad storm, but it's not severe. There is this one severe thunderstorm warning here, but it's not that big a deal. But all of Dallas Metro is under a severe thunderstorm warning, and the worst of it is going through downtown right now. And you can see here on the middle camera there, this one right here, it's hitting that camera right now where that one's at. And you can see it slowly getting worse there with wind. And then these storm chasers down here, they're right up here in North Dallas. Outside the Beltway. I still have to produce shows tonight before I can go to bed. Meat church barbecue. I've never heard of it. Let's see here. Government shutdown becomes the second longest in history. Yeah, do you believe that shit? 42 million Americans are going to possibly lose their food stamps. Why are we feeding all these people? Why do I feed 42 million Americans? I have to go out and work every day, or I would have to get food stamps. I don't get it. I'll ask again. Why am I feeding 42 million people? What the F? Okay, the Senate has adjourned for the weekend without a deal, which means they're done till Monday. It will not open between now and Monday, so it's closed for 3 more days for sure. The FBI uncovers a national gambling scheme, and it involved pro athletes and it involved big gangs. And I know this sounds like something that, like a movie coming to theaters in a world where gambling, I know, but yeah, this is a real deal. The FBI announced a probe into the nationwide illegal gambling ring implicating professional athletes from the NFL and the NBA leagues. Raids in Philadelphia uncovered $50 million in bets, with several high-profile players named as participants. The scheme involved offshore bookies and point-shaving allegations, prompting league suspensions. Kash Patel, FBI nominee, Kash Patel detailed the operation, vowing aggressive pursuit of sports corruption. Trump demolishes the East Wing of the Rose Garden. And this is where the new ballroom is going to connect to the White House, so they had to tear that down. The crews began demolishing part of the East Wing Rose Garden today as part of Donald Trump's $500 million White House overhaul. The project aims to restore historical features, but has drawn criticism for disrupting operations. Whatever. First Lady Melania Trump oversaw the redesign, incorporating modern security upgrades. Environmental groups protested the removal of historic paintings, citing cultural heritage loss. Oh, plantings, historical plantings. We can move plantings. We can move paintings too. Yeah, let me just say, I just want to say, I have no problem with government programs to give people a hand up. I have no problem with that. As long as there's a set sunset, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 5 years, as long as there's a sunset, I'll agree to it. I'm a humanitarian. I don't want anyone going hungry, especially children and cats. So I'm very picky about that. So the way I look at it is, yeah, I want to know why I'm feeding 42 million people. I think it's bullshit. All right? But I also don't want people going hungry. So we have to, first of all, we have to cut this waste. Second of all, people need to get to work and quit mooching. And third of all, we need to do that so that the money's there for the people that need it, because over half the people that are on it probably actually need it. And I'm for it. Especially, you're in a wheelchair, you've been in a bad accident, you can't move, you had a stroke, you know, I get it, and I'm all for it. But these people that just don't want to work, I'm done supporting them. I really am. I'm done supporting them. I completely support taking care of those that are disabled with taxpayer money. I'm fine with that. I'm talking about people who can but don't. Yeah, and that's where it gets really muddied. The water gets really muddied up. Right, little girl? It's muddy water. Isn't that true? I agree. She agrees. She don't talk very loud. And she doesn't talk into the microphone, so you probably won't ever hear her. Are you bleeping? She started yesterday bleeping again. Walking around with her tongue hanging out. That's what she does. That's why she literally got the name Mama Bleeper, because she's always walking around with her tongue hanging out. Michelle, then that's someone that needs it, and I'm perfectly fine paying for that. Understand me, I'm only talking about able-bodied people that can work, that don't work. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and there's jobs you can do at home. There's if it's a personality thing where they can't work with other people, you can stuff envelopes. There's crazy weird jobs you can do at your house. All I'm saying is I believe in hard work, and I believe that everyone should work towards a goal. And like I do every day with this YouTube channel, I try every day to work towards a goal. I try every day to make it a little better. But I work hard every day, and if I don't work, I don't eat. Every bit of food I have is in that little refrigerator right there, and on top of it. And I get it, it's like everybody else, but I want government resources and food stamps and disability and Section 8 housing and all that. I just want it to have a sunset for anyone that cannot prove a disability. That's all. I just want a sunset. If you're 68, we don't need to sunset it. You're fine. But hey, Brandon, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining the crew. I do appreciate it. We're here every night at 9 p.m. This is Starship Adventures. My name's Ian, and this is what we do. I realized earlier when I showed the studio, this is the studio. I've got all those computers off over there. I haven't dealt with them yet. They're all turned off. But anyway, suffice it to say, there's 9 computers in here. We can go on with 9 live channels, and we do sometimes when things are breaking and going on. Well, there you go, Michelle. If you can find something you can do, that's great. If not, then that's what it's there for, and I'm fine. I'm good with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Well, hi, Kitty. She's back. Hey, Brandon, how you doing tonight? Oh. All right. So let's get back to here. All right, so basically what we do on this channel is we cover all the breaking news. We just had a pursuit a few minutes ago. We covered, I had 3 different chopper views all up at the same time. I do any kind of news that's going on, manhunts, breaking news, whatever it is. We do scanner feeds. I got aircraft tracking here. It's a very, very technologically advanced channel here. I try to really make it cool. We call it ADD or ADHD TV because we have all these different screens that are all up at the same time, and this is how we do it every night. I use Radar Omega. I do. I pay for it. I love Radar Omega. I don't like this upgrade they just did, but I'm living with it. No, it's not a tornado outbreak. In fact, there is no tornado warnings currently. We are currently looking at a total of 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. Dallas, Texas, Kerr and Edwards, Texas, and Real and Valverde, Valdi and Kerr, Texas, also Kenny, Texas, all under a severe thunderstorm warning. But we have no tornado warnings at this time. Here's a wider look at what we're looking at. And you can see that lime green circle that looks like a big bean laying there. That is actually the National Hurricane Center has issued a broad area there where they're going to see an increased chance of some strong to potentially severe weather tonight. I don't see anything that's going to produce a long track tornado or anything, but we do have a few storm chasers out here, and we got a few cameras out here, and that's what you see over here on the left. So we do have some live views. It's gone through Fort Worth, it's gone through Arlington, and now it's going through Dallas proper as it moves off to the east. Tyler, Texas. It'll be at you. It'll be there in a couple hours. Here it comes. Yes, I do use Radar Omega. I use Flight Radar 24 for our aircraft tracking. Wow, he's getting some good winds there. The storm chaser. Look at that. Look at that. He's got a hell of a rainstorm coming in there. That was a good shot he just had. Let me see if I can bring that up. Really getting it coming in there good. He is north of Dallas. Wow, he's under the canopy there, and it's raining under the canopy. That's a hell of a storm he's got coming through there. I wish he would pan back over again. I'd love to see that shot. Here we go. Pan back over, dude. Look at that, man. That's a hell of a rainstorm. Oh, yeah. That's the kind of thing I just waited out. I ain't getting back on the interstate with that going on. Now there's a car wash. That'll wash that shit right off now. That's the kind of stupid shit I would do right there. I'm not sure if I remember that one, Deploribus. We had several weather services we used back then. When I started in emergency management, we didn't have the internet yet. So we paid big money to get radar feeds and things like that in-house. All right. Yeah, his frame's gonna rust. Yeah, with free scrubbing action. All right, and we're starting to see some boxes popping up from power outages. When you see a county turn color like that, see these blue counties? Those are all power outages reported in those counties. So this is starting to knock some power out in the area. Well, that's not good, Brandon. Wow. That's him sitting there. You can see he's already through most of the really bad stuff now.
Man, this storm is really hitting.
All right, well, boy, that was, I was giving you guys a little bit of that natural sound there. Let's see what else is going on. Governor Pritzker, once again, has rejected National Guard deployment. The last thing he wants is for people to stop killing people in his towns. So he's rejected Trump's offer for help because he likes crime. He likes violence, I guess. Anyway. Let's see. He's still working to try to get into Oregon, but they're blocking him there because we're trying to get them into Portland. And they're trying to fight it. I've never seen so many people fight help. You got people in your town killing people every night. In Chicago, 2 people will die tonight in Chicago. They don't have to die, but they're going to die. And it's because we don't have the help there we need to get that place under control. That's what needs to happen. Every place where we're having these murders and all this stuff, we need to send these guys in and fix it. They're not going in there as the military. They're going in there to just help the cops and back them up. It's not a big deal. Well, that could be. They did just issue one not long ago, but that might have been issued by a different forecast office. This one right here that covers, actually it just disappeared. We got flood warnings starting to pop up here behind it. We do still have some severe thunderstorm warnings down here, down towards the bottom of the country here. And that's starting to set up a bow echo right there. That could be some really strong winds getting ready to come into Camp Wood and finally Uvalde. This looks kind of like a bow echo. It might or might not be. Yeah, look how it's coming down. Oh yeah, and see it sprung off that, dude. This is a bow echo. It's not that big a deal, but there's probably 50, 60 mile an hour winds associated with this right here. Notice this out. That's kind of a gust front that's pushed out. It's pushed out ahead of this thing. That shows you right there that there's some really strong winds. See, it looks like a bow. It's like a bow echo. Excuse my drawing, but it looks like a bow. Anytime you see that, it is very strong winds that are going to be moving in this direction like that, and you're going to get a really 2 or 3 possibly really strong gusts, 50, 60, 70 mile an hour winds. Yes, duratio, that's what they call them, but it's a bow echo. That's what it's called on the radar. And yeah, it is, the duratio is the same thing. It's basically a big push, and they can do a lot of damage. They don't destroy houses generally, but it is, like I said, 1 or 2 or 3 70 mile an hour gusts of wind that come through, and it loves lawn furniture and trampolines and shit like that. But they're certainly not as deadly as a tornado or a hurricane. I mean, they're not like that. But yeah, that's like a duratio bow echo. Okay. If there was a tornado warning or another tornado pop up or something, I would actually pull up the scanners for that area like I did earlier. But right now we don't have a specific area where we're expecting anything major. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. It's been a fun evening. There's really nothing pending right now that I'm aware of. We didn't hear anything else on that pursuit. They were never able to reacquire it that I'm aware of. The Portland protest appears to be about 60 or so strong right now. And probably some of those are journalists. There's a little bit of mouthing going on right there in one of the videos. Let's see if I got audio on that.
Need your fucking money. I'm just fine. I retired from Microsoft. 35. Get the fuck out of my face.
He didn't retire. He got fired.
No, I didn't. I retired. If I got fired, I couldn't be part of the alumni.
He played video games for a living.
No, I actually helped create a
He was a barista at Microsoft.
No, I wasn't a barista.
He was a barista at Microsoft.
The janitor employees at Microsoft. The secretary employees at Microsoft. I worked for the Xbox.
If you're explaining,
You've
you're
been repeating
losing.
these same lies for like 10 years.
The guy who actually created the Xbox Live fucking service. I worked with. No, I was trained by someone named Judith Mahan as a child. It was trained by my mom. A minute ago, yeah, the voter's a button. Which is fucked up. This is that because the website stopped me.
I think he just has a butter knife fetish and he's just using this as an excuse.
When you get raped with something as a child, you don't fucking develop a fetish for it, you dumb, fat, gross fuck.
That's a weird flex, dog. Like, your parents. Hey, look at that bald spot. At least I'm not fat with the bald spot. Look at that.
Did that fat guy just call the guy fat? I'm just making sure, because I'm a fat guy. Are we allowed to do that?
But you can never grow that hair back. Bill Gates reject.
You're so fucking insecure about hair. What the fuck, dude? This is the first time I've mentioned it.
Yeah.
What is this? I mean, what the hell?
Oh, this shit is hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Is that where they keep the protesters? In the trunk? There's only about 30 or 40 protesters out there. I guess you guys see that. Between the cops and the YouTubers and the media, There may be 40 protesters. Hey, Heath, I'm with you. If they're not essential workers, then let's just let them stay home.
Angry always.
That's right.
Hey, Max. Welcome in. I kind of like pissing off the left, too. It's fun. All you need is reality and truth. It's pretty easy.
I'm tired. If I'm not fired, I couldn't be part of the alumni.
He played video games for a living.
No, I actually.
He was a barista at Microsoft.
Okay, that's literally like a replay of the same video like 2 minutes later. Let's see if there's any...
A butter knife to butter your butters. We think you're hilarious, bro. He's got one viewer. He's got one viewer, bro. He's got one viewer.
They're just shaming... They're literally shaming each other. It's like...
I'm not monetized either.
Mama Bleeper, she's right over there. She just walked by a minute ago. She's doing good. She's doing really good. I'm proud of her.
Well, it got spicy while I was there. This is part of the story. That guy? Yeah, is dating anyway, right?
Yeah, she is looking great. Considering how bad she was 4 or 5 days ago, I'm very happy with her progress.
I was gonna say he's gonna get me in trouble.
He was a barista at Microsoft.
I thought I lost her.
You've been repeating these same lies for like 10 years.
This guy's a psycho. Hazy says JD likes pineapple on. What do you mean by that, Hazy? Does it make him a bad person? I don't know about that.
I think he just has a butter knife fetish and he just uses this as an excuse.
We're down to one video that's just playing over and over and over again.
I'm the wrong motherfucker.
Go ahead,
I can do that too.
I didn't bump you, you bumped me. I've got it on camera. Go ahead, Tommy.
Ham.
Get close to eyes,
So
Tommy.
people want to know
This-
why
this
are you
is-
a Fed?
I think this is the left eating the left right
Ham,
here.
why are you a Fed? Why did you turn on MAGA and why are you going to turn on Antifa?
Go ahead, Tommy, get close to eyes.
Huh?
Go ahead, Tommy, get close to eyes.
Why did you turn on MAGA and now you're going to turn on
Go ahead,
Antifa?
Tommy, get close to eyes. Go ahead, Tommy, get closer. Get
Oh,
closer.
you're so cool. You're so cool.
Get closer, Tommy.
You're so cool, Butters.
Get closer, Tommy.
Huh? No, I'm not coming up with it. It's a fact. We know you're the Fed. We know you're the Fed. We know you're the Fed. Oh, you don't like my cigarettes? Says the man who never brushes his teeth.
I brush my teeth every day, Tommy.
God, this is petty. This is so petty. These
Hey,
two
you
are
want
like
to smoke a
children.
cigarette
Don't
with
like
me?
a fucking Max Rock. No, I know he doesn't care. He's out here to grin. That's all Tommy is. Tommy's just a fucking loser grifter.
Dude, you're trying to go live with 9 viewers, bro. I got 23,000 viewers and I just started.
Money, Tommy.
Yeah, you are. You said I'm not monetized. Neither am I, bro. I'm not monetized.
Oh, so you're not monetized.
And you're not waiting on getting monetized?
No, I'm not.
No, because you're a broke boy. You don't like money. You guys are socialists.
It's the attack of the beta males. Yeah, Red, I'm getting ready to go too. Yeah. All right, guys, listen, I am going to go ahead and cruise out. It's been fun tonight. We covered the sights and sounds of Earth. I think we did a pretty good job here tonight. And hopefully everybody got to get caught up on all the different happenings that are going on around Yeah, it does. It's like junior high. When you every time I poke in on and start listening to all these different feeds at these No Kings rallies, it's a bunch of kids. It's either a bunch of disgruntled old people or it's a bunch of kids that sound like junior high school kids talking about who's dating who. And yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. But anyway. All right, guys. Well, it's been fun. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know about tomorrow night. That's technically my one night that I do take off sometimes. So I'm going to leave it open. I am going to be available all day tomorrow and tomorrow night. I had several plans tomorrow that have fallen through. And so I'm now basically going to be home over the weekend. I'm going to be getting all these feeds back up. I'm going to be getting all this stuff all ready to go. I may come on tomorrow night with a show if there's anything going on. So be looking for it. And also Sunday for sure. And also all weekend I'm covering breaking news. Tornado outbreaks. I don't care if they're 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, 2 in the afternoon. I don't care. I'm going to cover it. So turn that notification bell on and keep an eye out because I will be here all weekend going live. There's just about 4 hours Sunday afternoon that I'm blocked out. Sunday around lunchtime. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, everybody. Also, check out our backup channel, Starship After Dark. And there's nothing actually on over there right now, but there will be by tomorrow. We'll have it all back up and going again. I took power surges here 3 days in a row, and I finally just stopped turning everything back on until I figure out what's going on. Well, it's been stable now all day today, so I'm going to go ahead tomorrow and start turning everything, getting everything going again. All right, everybody, have a good one out there. Live from Starship Studios here in North Fort Myers. My name's Ian, and this has been Starship Adventures, the Sights and Sounds of Earth. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you back probably sometime tomorrow. I'll be on for something, not sure what. And then Sunday and all next week at 9 o'clock Eastern, I'll be back on here for the Sights and Sounds of Earth. And then starting on the 31st, for 10 days, there will not be Sights and Sounds of Earth. There will be random broadcasts through the day and evenings as I'm going to be up in the mountains. So that's what's going on. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll see you next time. Have a good night and a safe tomorrow. 7 threes, everybody. 7 threes.